I just realized the mic was off. I apologize for wasting time. Anyway, we will be building this guy here, Snowbloat, from folduptoys.com. If you can see that right there, folduptoys.com. It's another holiday Christmas papercraft, and yes, we are filling the season with them. We are doing holiday papercrafts. I do want to get into the more non-traditional, non-holiday papercrafts like this Miku from Peppa Tiger. It's hard to find now. I tried looking on the internet for the instructions for it, but Peppa Tiger's blog has been, I guess, removed from where it used to be. But I do want to get into making more of these kinds of papercrafts and showing you how to make them. If you're a big fan of Miku and stuff. Let me put her shoe back on. But until the holiday season is over, we'll have to put these ones on hold. So you can sit right here. She'll watch us. She'll watch us as we craft. So let's get back to the project at hand, Snowbloat. It's very simple, and although it's simple, it's got a very unique and interesting shape. It's like a upside down diamond with the top cut off, but still a unique, kind of gives it a round appearance, especially right here on the bottom, the sides here. And another interesting aspect of this one is the flap that goes right here. Hold on, let me turn my volume down a little bit. It's really loud in my ears. Okay, so it's oh, sorry, Miku. Okay, there she goes. Now she can see what we're doing. Alright, so it's got this flap, this outer flap, which attaches to the nose and creates that 3D nose that helps the nose pop out. Really fun, really easy, really quick. I think the part that's going to take the most is if you want to score, is going to be the scoring and the cutting. Otherwise, we're looking at about 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour for novice and beginner paper crafters. But that doesn't take away from it just being a super easy toy to build, especially for the holidays. You still have time before Christmas is here and before winter is over. You know, what was it? Isn't today like the first day of winter? So if you want to get these out just for the winter and you don't have to celebrate Christmas, perfect design, perfect decoration, perfect toy. So let's go ahead and we'll get this party started. So we're going to start out with just basic cutting. Of course, there's the name, Snowblow. Got the instructions. Follow the instructions to a T. You don't have to. You don't have to cut it out the same way I do. Here we have the final picture. This is what it's going to look like when it's done, what I just showed you. And what I like about Fold Up Toys' designs, Alex, Gwen, the designer, they're kind enough to put a picture of what the final design is going to look like. A lot of designers and paper engineers usually just give you the printout, and they have the final picture on the website. But if you downloaded hundreds of paper crafts like I have, a lot of the time you rely on the blog to be there, or the website to always be there and give you a picture of what the final product is going to look like, and that could be challenging when you've okay, so here's it says fold over. There's some instructions that you're going to cut off during the process, but it's super intuitive. You'll know that you have to fold that over and then glue it, but just for those that don't, for the beginners and for people new to papercraft, always be on the lookout for little instructions like that. Make sure that you don't cut them off and forget. Otherwise, you could refer to the video, or you can go back to the PDF, PNG, JPEG, or GIF that a lot of these papercrafts come out of, and just see what hidden instructions they have. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was saying a lot of the time designers will just give you the printouts and the templates, and they don't normally include an image of the final product on the the paper itself, and this can get confusing, especially for more complicated paper crafts. These are not super complicated paper crafts. They're really easy to put together, but it does help to have that final picture just to know what you're doing and what the end goal is. We'll just go ahead and keep cutting. Trusty scissors, the most versatile tool in your toolkit, will be a pair of scissors. And I recommend any kind of professional quality scissors. Children's scissors, they're usually blunt tipped and they tend to pinch, and sometimes they don't cut paper, and that becomes a problem. So the better quality your scissors are, the better ability you're going to have to cut things. And these scissors were pretty much top of the line, stainless steel, nice solid weight to them. I really like the weight. They give you a clean cut. The tip cuts, I'm going to say within 2 micrometers, if that's a correct measurement of where you close, because sometimes when you close, scissors will cut a millimeter ahead of the blades, and this can be a problem a lot of the times. Sometimes you can cut into the, like right here where I'm cutting, if I was using a cheaper pair of scissors, it would cut into the design itself. But these scissors, these are Ginger scissors from Italy, and they're very precise. So where you stop is where the scissors are going to stop. They won't give you that millimeter cut ahead or cut in front. I don't know what you would call that, a forward cut. I don't know, whatever it's called, it's sometimes not good. And if anybody is watching, and you can comment on the sound quality, if you can hear the music, if you want less music, if you want more music, less of me talking, more of me talking and describing exactly what's happening, all comments are appreciated. And I know this is live now, but even feedback, old feedback, is appreciated. And you don't have to cut along the lines the whole time. Usually I just cut out the shapes around the template itself so that I have easier access to the innermost workings of the design. Because I don't want it to rip, I don't want it to tear, I don't want it to... I don't want to mess it up, basically. So just try to make the job as easy as possible by cutting out the areas around it before going in and detail cutting. And this is where a blade, a scalpel, or a click blade could come in handy, but I'm just much more efficient with the scissors than I am laying out the line, holding down the ruler, and cutting with the blade. And that's alright. Some people are better with scissors than they are with the blade. Some people are better with the blade than they are with scissors. Different strokes for different folks. You shouldn't expect everybody to build the same way you build. And that's why I kind of do these videos, is to show that there's more than one way to skin a rabbit. But there are some interesting ways, let me tell you. And sometimes it's just nice just to focus and listen to the music and get lost in the moment. It becomes a meditation of what am I doing right now? Right now I'm cutting. And that's what I'm doing right now. Right now I'm cutting. Right now I'm cutting. Right now, and I'm not worried about anything else. I'm not thinking about my job. I'm not thinking about going into work tonight. I'm not thinking about death or taxes, because right now I'm cutting. That's what I'm doing. Let's clean this up a little bit. I like to think of my workspace as a reflection of my mind, and sometimes my mind is cluttered and needs to be cleaned up. And here I'm using the blade just to get this part out, because it's hard to get the scissors into like these tight areas right here. And the blade comes in handy. Just make sure I get that very corner. There we go. Just gonna keep out cutting the Alright, and there we have it. The piece is cut. And now that the piece is cut, we are going to do a little bit of scoring. And you don't have to do this part. If you want to go ahead and just fold, I choose the score. And so you need your scoring tool and your straight edge, and you just score along the piece. You bring that tip, that little ball tip right there, that's just going to run along all the edges here. And I'm gonna invest in a better camera so you can see the lines, because you can't see these lines as well, but just line up the ruler along the edge. Try not to lay it on top of the edge, because there is a ball point at the tip of this stylus, so you want it just off center. And then it's a technique that you excuse me, that you learn and you grow with. It's the same thing with cutting. You just trace the lines. What scoring does, and why I like it, is it makes the folds crisper, it makes the folds straighter, it makes them it just makes it easier to fold as well. It creates an indentation in the paper that then helps the paper fold in an easier fashion. And of course, scoring is just like cutting. It's a good meditation practice. It gets you in, what am I doing right now? Right now I'm scoring. I'm not worried about what's going on outside or what's going on tomorrow or what I have later on. Right now I am scoring. Scoring the paper. Scoring the paper. Like I said, it becomes a meditation practice. And that's one thing I like about Papercraft. I used to like paper dolls, and then I would create paper dolls from magazine models and magazine cutouts, and I would have hundreds and hundreds, and I would just sit there and cut out these figures from these magazines, and I had hundreds of them. And I don't know what I think I lost them all by now, but what it would do was it would help me to relax and to be present. I found peace in it. Oops, let me flip that over. Okay. I found peace in what I was doing, and it was nice. And I've always enjoyed playing with paper and making paper toys. There's a story I told earlier about a comic book in Mexico called Neuron, and in the back they had paper figures that you could cut out. You would glue on cardboard and you would sew them together at the joints, and you had these cheap Mexican paper action figures. And you could check the back here to see where you've scored and where you need to score, because you can see the indentation on the back of where you've already scored. And so now we just have to score where we need to. But yeah, I've always been into paper toys, and I've always found it relaxing, and discovering paper crafts and these kinds of models as a younger adult, older child. I was very excited, and here we are now. Me just doing what I love, trying to share that with you. I'm doing this to help other people get excited about this as I am. And I hope that you are, because I hope that you find this stuff interesting, and interesting enough to visit places like folduptoys.com or pepakura.net or Papercrafter Paradise or Ninja Toes or oh, there's a bunch of them out there. Paperreplica.com is a great one to visit. And I think we got all of it. It all looks finished. Oh, missed a spot right here. So we're going to go ahead and do this one now. Line this up real quick. But yeah, just visit there. Just type in Papercraft and you could find all kinds of amazing things. Go ahead and start bending it just to make everything easier to bend and already bent. And everything will fold into itself once we are ready to start gluing. And the gluing is one of the funner parts too, but we'll get to that next. Right now, we are scoring. So let's focus on what's happening right now. Right now. Right now, we are scoring. Like I said, if you don't like the music, feel free to let me know. I'm always listening. And this is what it'll look like in the end. Something like this. Alright, now it's time for gluing. So let's go ahead and get the glue started. Now, Alex is kind enough to give us a number layout where we need to glue this. So right here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's usually best if you do go by this number sequence. It makes it a lot easier. Alex should know they designed the Papercraft, and they designed it especially to make it easy for everyone. It's all ages, and so let's just go ahead and get started. We'll start with the number 1 here. Oh man, my glue apparatus just, you see that? You see it right in there? And it's gone. Great. Fantastic. Alright, hold on while I get something else. Good. Great. Fantastic. What do we got? Okay. So we're gonna have to fish that out later, but what I have here is just a thick, I want to say this is some kind of knitting needle, yarn needle, a larger thread needle. But this is what we're going to be using because I lost my glue applicator apparatus, and it's sinking, slowly sinking to the bottom. But we'll get over that. What we're using is Aileen's original tacky glue, America's favorite glue. America. So yeah, I use it. I don't usually like to promote products that are name brand or that can promote themselves because they have enough money to make commercials. Unfortunately, this is one of those instances we'll have to make an exception because this is some exceptionally good glue, and I highly recommend using it. But that's enough for the promotion for them. Let me go ahead and just put some glue right there, and you're just gonna smear it on here Make sure you get it along the edge. And in previous videos I said that I like smearing it on the other opposite side where the tab is. So if the tab would be over here, instead of putting glue right here, I'll put glue over here. And I just went against my own rule and it's already causing problems. There's a big old glob of glue right here on the edge that's it's gonna be really bad. So what you want to do is you just grab your finger and push the glue, travel along the edge and push the glue back so that it doesn't get on the surface or the face. And so we're going to go ahead and follow my rule and get some more glue here, and then glue on the opposite side of the tab, the opposing wall of the tab. And if we do get too much glue over here, same thing, just wipe it down. Make sure you roll it so that you get all the glue off your finger, and then we're just gonna press it together once that it's nice and flush, and hold it for a couple seconds. I recommend anywhere between 5 to 10 seconds to let it get a nice grip. Okay, and then we're going over to 2, and 2 is going to complete the circle here. It's going to make it all the way complete. Glue 2 right there. Make sure you don't get any on the arm here, the waving hand. So we'll go ahead and put some glue on our new glue application apparatus. Just lay it back here. Try to follow it along the edge there. And then right over here. And that should be enough. We'll get the tab, make sure it's lined up just right. And once we're happy with how it looks, press it. Kind of. Alright. What I like about Aleene's tacky glue is that it stays tacky for a period after you apply it, so you can there's still seconds to move it around. It's not a lot of time, but you have enough time to adjust. And there we have it. We got the main body closed, and so 4 and 3 are going to go inside here. You're going to tuck them in, but that doesn't mean you have to glue them, or it's going to be tricky to do, because Alex is smart enough to leave an opening for us to use our fingers to get in and to press against this wall and to press against this wall. So you have one hand in here and the other hand is making it easy for us to hold it. Okay, so we're going to apply glue to number 4, section 4. Put it along the edge here. Be really careful not to get that glob of glue over on the line. Alright, now that we have that, I'm going to push that in and then hold it. So with this hand in here, we're pushing up. So we're holding it up against right here. Got some extra glue there. Then we're going to push down right here and meet the pressure to create a nice seal. And I noticed that that was number 4 and that was number 3. And it's not, I mean, you already know where it's going to go. It makes it easier. The numbers make it easier, but that doesn't mean you have to glue in 3 or 4. Sometimes it does, because it makes it super easy, but in an instant like, let me get this out. In an instance like that, these are both going here, so it's not really that big a deal. There's 2 ways we can go about gluing this tab now. We can squeeze in the applicator here, right in there, and just smear it all along there, or we can come in from underneath and apply glue to the tab right there. So I think instead of risking getting glue all over here, we're going to go ahead and come in from the inside. Attack it from the inside. Make sure that that you can see the tab, and then just apply glue to it. I don't know if you can see that. Then we can check. We could probably apply a little bit here, but then see you got a little glob glue over here. Alright, and now that that's done, go ahead and do the same thing. Press it on the inside, press up, and then press down from the outside and create a nice hold. And I see that Miku fell. Let's pick her back up. Come on, Miku. There we go. Let's put her right here. She looks like she wants to see. Oh, we're just making paper crafts, Miku. Once the seal is good, you look inside. You can't really see that good because it's too bright, but the there it goes. You can see it's nice and contained. You can even see from the outside they're nice and pinched. So let's just double make sure. Another technique to make sure that there's a nice firm hold all along the seam here, is to find a flat surface, which of course is your table, and we're going to press this side against it. So you just lean it against there and then just press down. So you're going to put like 2 fingers and then just press down, making even pressure to seal right along here. And all that we have, oh, now we got number 5. There's some glue got on the inside here, so so remember this part right here where it said glue and fold and glue, sorry, fold and glue. So that would mean folding the nose over like that and gluing, but I'm gonna trim it just a little bit so that it's you got a little bit of the white leaking through here, so I'm gonna just clean it up just a little bit. You can't really see right there when you fold it over, there's just a little bit of white, and that was my fault because I didn't cut it close enough. And you don't have to do this, it's just I like things to look as solid and as good as possible. I don't have a problem taking the time to just snip a little bit right there. And there you see when you close it, good as new. Look at that, bam. This side, there's a little bit of a white shining through right there, so we're going to do the same thing, just clean it up. Like I said, this is just a personal preference. If a kid is doing this, I wouldn't expect them to take the time to make it as perfect as I am. It's tedious and it's obnoxious, and I wish I could just let it go, but I can't. Alright, so you're going to get it. You apply just a little bit of glue there. You don't want too much. And then fold it over. Make sure your fingers are clean. Get out your trusty pinch tweezers and see, I don't know if you can see, but there's that little glob of glue that I squeezed out right there on top. We're going to go ahead and just wipe that off so it doesn't mess up anything. Now that we've done that, we are going to glue number 5, which is this flap here, down to number 5. So just get some glue on our applicator, a bit more. And you don't need a ton of glue. Eileen's tacky glue, a little, goes a long way. Put your hand inside, fold it down. Make sure the nose is up. You don't want to glue the nose to the face, because that would mess up this design. And then bam. Now what I could have done too is, you see I left the black outline. If I really wanted to go for that super professionalism, I would have cut it out on the inside of the line, right here on the inside, instead of on along the line itself, so that all this black line would have been cut out. Like I said, it's a toy, it's for fun. If I was doing this to be judged, yeah, I would take that time to do that, but I'm not. I'm just doing this for fun. This is supposed to be a toy, so let's go ahead and have fun. Now that that's sealed, these are what's next. Getting these flaps 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's get 6 started. And I'm gonna I'm going to apply the glue on the opposing wall of the tab. So it'll be this wall. I'll put the glue here, fold it down here. And this is just so we don't have that problem where the glue was running over the edge into the surface of the template. Let's go ahead and put glue here. And I think that was too much because it's bleeding over the side there. So let me get this glue off. You can let it dry a little. Sometimes, like in mid, there's a point with the tacky glue where it's not wet and it's not dry and it holds just right. So you don't have to be quick. It's not like crazy glue where you gotta attach the sides quickly. It's good glue where you can attach the sides in an appropriate time. Makes it easy. There we go, 7. So we'll go ahead and we'll apply glue here and here for 7 and 8. And Alex Gwynn tells me that they're going to put out a few more Christmas paper or holiday paper crafts, which I am both excited and dreading, because I was kind of hoping to get out of the holiday spirit. But the more they put out, I'm not mad because I like doing paper crafts and I really like their design, their work, their Papercraft innovation. It's really fun to do and fun to look at. And I know I'm doing a lot of fold-up toys. This is Alex's company. I'm doing a lot of fold-up toys right now because it's a good introduction for people who want to get into Papercraft. It's a good place to start. The toys are easy to build, they're fun, and you can really learn a lot by building them. And I have been following Alex for, I want to say almost a decade, maybe more. It's been a long time that I've been following their work, and they have definitely grown, and they're a huge contribution to the Papercraft world with the stuff that they've done. And I really like their work, and that's why I'm I want people to know and appreciate their work as well. So that's why I'm mostly doing fold-up toys. So shout out to Alex. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. You do great stuff. I recommend visiting their YouTube channel as well if you want to learn more about Papercraft design and designing your own paper crafts and using math to understand how Papercraft works and how going from a basic cube to so what I'm doing here is there's a lot of little glue balls, little tar balls, and I'm just scraping them off the surface. Just get your razor and rub it along the surface to just kind of scrubs them off. Alright, so now we're going to do 10, 11, and 12, and I believe that means we're done. So let's go ahead, we're going to apply it to the opposing wall. And these glue balls, these little specks of glue here, this is what happens when you use too much glue and you get glue on your fingers and you don't clean them properly, and then they just roll along the surface. And I think I'm just being sloppy right now. I don't know why. I'm usually more cautious, but it happens. It happens. I don't know if you saw what I just did. You can see that I slid it over because it was kind of at an angle and it wasn't on the tab 100%, and I just kind of pinched together and slid, and that's the goodness of tacky glue. It works like that. It doesn't create that instant hold. It creates a pliable hold that you can adjust. That's why I like it. And this is years and years of exploring different kinds of glues until finding one that works for you. So let's go ahead and finish it. Ah, Miku! I'm sorry. Alright, there you go. She just wants to see what we're doing. She's just curious, that's all. So we're applying the glue in here along the wall. And another thing too that's causing that is if you see all this gunk that's built up, a lot of clean your tools. And I'm telling this to myself too. Clean your tools, for crying out loud. So like that. So we'll go ahead and secure that into place. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean this off. Let me see if I can find a piece of scrap paper. No, can't find one, so I gotta improvise. Alright, there we go. Good as new. So let's go ahead and get that off. And this is the final tab, tab 12. It's getting kind of tricky to get in there. So the other applicator we had, it had a really pointy edge, pointy tip, and that is ideal because it could get into places like right here and then just slide it. This is kind of a blunt tip. You can't get into that little spot there, which is kind of tricky. But we're going to do our best because we lost our other applicator. May it rest in peace, and by the time we're done with this bottle, we can have it back. So we got that. Final tab finished. I'm going to put it in place and hold it. And I think we're done. Okay, what you want to do is when you're finished, close your glue up so that it doesn't dry out. And then, perfect, fix the nose. Okay, so right now it's at an angle. You want to pop it up. There we go. And that's that. We are finished with Snowblow from Fold Up Toys. Shout out to Alex Gwynn. Visit their website, folduptoys.com. Check out their YouTube videos. Hundreds of paper toys that are free to download. There's a small selection of toys that you can only get if you support them on Patreon. You can do that by visiting patreon.com/folduptoys. It looks like it's coming off a little bit right here. That's fine. It's okay. Only God is perfect. We don't have to look for perfection ourselves. We just have to try. And we tried very well. And look, it turns out good. It's complete. Say hello to your friend. Hey, what's going on? Hi, not much. Hey, you want to meet Miku? She's been watching this whole thing. Hello. So there's Miku. She's been watching the whole thing. Miku from Peppa Tiger. Just put it in any search engine. I believe it was Peppa Tiger, Miku, Papercraft, and you can probably find it somewhere. If not, hit me up and I will point you in the right direction. So there we go. Say goodbye, guys, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching. You can follow us on Facebook, of course, Twitch, YouTube. We're on Tumblr, especially on Instagram. Super active on Instagram. Twitter. We're everywhere social media is available at Neuron. Thanks for watching, everybody.